Welcome to aminacademy.com. In material science and engineering, let us discuss about hydrogen spectrum. Towards the end of 19th century, it was discovered that the light, which is discontinuous in frequency distribution from a discrete set of light images that are termed as spectral lines. One can analyze these lines by a distribution of their frequency or color. It was also discovered that the wavelength of the lines of a spectrum fall into definite set which are called series. An element may display several series. Each series can be represented by an empirical formula which has a similarity for all the series of given element. What is spectrum of the hydrogen atom? Electron in a hydrogen atom circle around a nucleus. Because of the electromagnetic force between the proton and electron, wavelength electrons go through numerous quantum states. Niels Bohr model helps in visualizing these quantum states as electron orbit the nucleus in different directions. When electrons in an atom are supplied energy, that is a given energy, they get excited and jump from a lower energy level to a higher energy level. If energy is given, the electron jumps from lower to higher energy level. As we know, electrons always try to remain in their lowest energy level, that is the ground level. The excited electrons go back to their original level and emit radiation in this process. This phenomenon explains the emission of spectrum via hydrogen, sometimes known as hydrogen emission spectrum. We'll go over an experiment to better understanding what a hydrogen emission spectrum is. Consider a thin tube carrying low pressure gaseous hydrogen. The electrodes will then be attached to both ends of the container. Now if we supply a high voltage to the electrode, we can see a pink glow bright in the tube. That means the tube color inside the gases change the color. We know that a prism divides the light that passes through it by diffraction. By diffraction, it changes the colors. The visible light spectrum is a subset of the hydrogen emission spectrum because the light is UV, ultraviolet rays. Our eyes are unable to perceive the majority of it. The electron transitioning from a high energy state to low energy state is the primary cause of the hydrogen lines emission spectrum. These are the hydrogen emission spectrum in different colors. Look at here 100 nanometers it looks like, and the nanometers are increasing, wavelengths are increasing, so the colors regarding the colors changing. What is the spectral emission? When an electron transitions or jumps from a higher energy state to lower energy one, spectral emission occurs. To distinguish between the two states, the lower energy level is denoted by suppose N1, while the higher energy state is denoted by N2. The energy difference between the two states corresponds to the energy difference of a photon emitted. Photon emission here. Because the energy of each state is fixed, so is the energy difference between them, and transition will always generate the same energy photon. Look at here. Here this is a ground level. That levels are increasing, and n equal to 1, n equal to like. Then here these different levels are given. In this different series also given in figure, that Lyman series, Balmer series, Bastian series regarding this wavelength changes. The quantized energy levels of the atoms lead to spectrum to have wavelengths that represents the difference in these energy levels. Look at here, from energy level 1 minus energy is minus 13.6 electron volt. Energy level 2, it is minus 3.4 electron volt, and energy 3 is minus 1.51 electron volt, and energy 4 is minus 8.5 electron volt. That means this change in energy levels and regarding that energy is given. Spectrum series of an hydrogen. Because of the hydrogen atom is the simplest atom system known in nature, because it have one proton and electron, there is no neutron. It forms the simplest of this series. When a light or radiation beam enters the device through a slit, each individual component of light or radiation forms an image of the source. When resolved with a spectroscope, these images can be seen. The image obtained will be in the shape of a parallel lines group adjacent to each other with uniform spacing. When moving from higher to lower wavelength side, the line will be farther apart on the higher wavelength side and gradually closer to the lower wavelength side. The series limit is the shortest wavelengths with the fewest separated spectral lines. There are some series mentioned below. Here, Lyman series, that is electron moves to the first shell from any other cell. From first cell, it's a Lyman series. Balmer series, electron moves to the second shell from any other cells. That means from any other cells to first shell. Paschen series is electron moves to the third shell from any other cell. Bracket series, electron moves to the fourth shell from any other shell. Fund series, electron moves to the fifth shell from any other cells. Look at here. Here, Lyman series is from any other cells, that is from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 come to Lyman series, that is N1. Balmer series is from any other cells to any other higher cells to N2 number 2 cell. It's called a Balmer. Like Paschen and bracket series are given. A Rydberg formula. When the energy of differences between levels in the Bohr model and hence the wavelength of emitted or absorbed photons is given by the Rydberg formula. Here Z is atomic number, N1 is principal quantum number, N2 is principal quantum number, number of upper energy level, like R is a Rydberg constant. Therefore, by using Rydberg formula, it's not noted here. From that formula, we can get energy differences between Bohr models we can find. Now, next concept is normal and excited state of an atom. When an electron temporarily occupies an energy state greater than its ground state, it is an excited state. Means it is not in first state. Other than first state, it is called an excited state. An electron can become excited if it is given extra energy, such as if it absorbs a photon or packet of light or collides with a nearby atoms or particle, it becomes an excited state. Here, look at here, in excited state is photon is absorbed. Due to that, the electron becomes excited state, and after releasing the photon or absorbing photon, it becomes a ground state. Means what? It comes to, electron comes to original position. That means the first level. What is energy level? Energy level are nothing but the fixed distances of electron from a nucleus of an atom. The energy level are also called electron shells. Look at here, these are energy emissions. Now, even that Bohr's model gives explanation of hydrogen atom of level of an hydrogen atom, still it has some drawbacks. It failed, that is Niels Bohr's model of atom, hydrogen atom failed to explain Zeeman effect when the spectral line is split into several components in the presence of magnetic field. It failed to explain the Stark effect when the spectral line gets split into two fine lines in the presence of an electric field. Here, the limitation is further explanation. Bohr's atomic model failed to explain the atomic spectrum of an atom other than hydrogen. Only it can explain easily hydrogen atom, other atoms it cannot easily explain. Bohr's model could not give the better explanation of hydrogen spectrum because it could not explain the spectrum when two spectral lines are very close to each other, that is doublets. Also, it failed to explain Zeeman effect, that is, what is Zeeman effect? It's splitting of spectral lines under the influence of magnetic field. And it could not explain the ability of atom to form molecule by chemical bonds. So far we discussed about and spectral line of hydrogen atom, means spectrum of an hydrogen atom. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.